Hello everybody, this is Matador from freetradingvideos.com. It's 1:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on November 14th, 2008. Some really interesting market action today I wanted to talk to you about, at least up to this point. Look at what the spiders did. This morning they gapped down, right? You can watch what happened in this chart. Filled that gap partially, very nicely, and then sold off a little bit. Made a nice little swing low, made a lower swing low, held up on the 50 MA here, and started chopping around sideways for a while. So just take note of that real quick. Memorize that pattern. Just whatever, pick any stock. There's Goldman, whatever. Gap down nicely, filled that gap a little bit, also formed a lower swing low, a little bit of a higher swing low in that time frame, which I'll show you in a minute. So a little bit different. Showing a little bit of strength there during that time frame. Apple gapped down the same way, but never filled the gap at all. So looking a little bit relatively weak. And then there's Sunoco, giving it away. So this guy gapped down in the morning, just like the rest of them. Filled the gap completely, chewed its way out of that. Formed a really, really nice ascending triangle in here. It's a higher swing low. Another nice one here, another retest. Looking for that thing to break out of that. Another retest, and then finally, boom. Nice little breakout during the same time frame. Everything else was looking not so strong. So relative strength stock. Right, very, very nice ascending triangle pattern in here. Carryover from yesterday, mainly forming from today. Runs up very, very nicely. I can draw that resistance and support in now. And I'll go through it and show you. Really nice run up. Forms another beautiful ascending triangle breakout. Look at this guy. Doesn't get much prettier than this. Boom. So two really good trades. One was at the beginning of the day, based on what the relative strength of this stock was. And one was later in the day as an add-on. And he's still chewing on that. That's where we are right now. A little bit iffy, and I lightened up a lot on this trade because if you go back and look at a daily chart on that time frame, this stock's running up into a great area of resistance on this. So if I draw this symmetrical triangle that was in back here, some significant resistance at exactly this spot we're at now. It doesn't get any prettier than that. A lot of people back here who went long, who sat through this mess, are going to want their money back, and they're going to be happy to sell. That's the definition of overhead resistance. That's part of understanding reading charts that I was sort of alluding to. Some of the things we're going to do in our chart school coming up here are going to be pretty impressive based on the psychology of charting. So stay tuned for that. But in here, I need to be very careful about how I take profits and how aggressive I hold this over the weekend. In this environment, it's going to be very iffy if I hold very much. So go back intraday on the spiders with me. This is the 1110 bar right here. And that had just formed two very nice things. One was a lower swing low, and then another lower swing low, but it was very, very close to being an equal swing low. So we're losing some momentum to the downside in that area. During that time frame, I was watching another stock. It was Goldman, which is right in here. Almost exactly that same time. And it had actually formed a higher swing low during that time frame. A couple of them. One there, a little bit even, and then a higher one right there. So very, very nice. It's consolidating, showing just a little tiny bit of strength. Really nice potential low base breakdown if it ever cleared the $66 mark. Some good support down in this area as well to be watched out for. But also a breakout potential to the 200 MA. So very, very quick scalping type of trade. This guy actually broke out nicely. Ran up. Again, another symmetrical triangle pattern. Good resistance in this area. And started holding that. So check this out. I want to show you something really cool. This resistance, once broken, will often act as support. So I looked at that. I fine-tuned that. That is about the 1130 bar right there. Look at what the trend was doing at 1130. I know I keep talking about it, but it's hard not to. At 1130 right in here, the trend was at around 2.0. Nothing to sneeze at. It's twice as much volume flowing out of stocks, or into stocks that are going down than going up. It does not at all give me any confidence that Goldman was going to hold that and make a higher swing low in here. And in fact, it tried like crazy for a while, but then ultimately broke it and ran back up, made a lower swing high, and kind of bid it for a while. Working on a cup and handle right now. It's chewing its way out of that. Next resistance up in here is where it touched already. Next resistance after that will be again in this area. So it's cool to watch that. It's a really, really smart thing to do. Let's go back and look at those market internals. Make sure that you have some corroboration there. Unless you're seeing something like Sunoco completely just bulk against the market, I have to be really careful about looking at those market internals and looking at relative strength and weakness. So pretty cool. Some interesting things going on in the market, and you can always find a good opportunity. And I hope you guys are having a great trading day. Have a good weekend, and I'll talk to you soon.